Hi and welcome, James Merchant here from Impact Realty Group, and welcome to our latest monthly market update. Plenty to talk through. We're going to look at the recent results, growth rates for the month of June, sales volumes and transactions. Obviously, we've just been placed into stage 3 lockdown again, what that means to the local real estate market. But I want to provide you some important news, why the market is pretty buoyant down here on the Mornington Peninsula. In the last video, I talked about the bear case scenario versus bullish case scenario for housing. I'm going to talk through those points and much more. Into growth rates and sales volumes, let's start with Mount Eliza. For the month of June, great news for Mount Eliza residents. The median home price moved up to 1.2 million from 1.185. That's an increase of 1.2%. What we also notice is the sales volumes did pick up, 17 transactions for the month of June. Remember, for April and May, we averaged 10 transactions. So we're back to the sales volumes that we saw in the first quarter of 2020. That's great news for the suburb of Mount Eliza. For the Frankston South market, the median home price has moved up from $802,000 to $820,000. So that's an increase of 2.1%. Volume transactions, similar to Mount Eliza, has picked up back to the quarter 1 2020 with 13 transactions. With the Frankston market, the median home price has moved up from $605,000 to $608,000. That's an increase of 0.5% for the month of June. Again, we've seen volumes pick up, 21 completed transactions for the month of June. Let's talk about the recent lockdown. We're back into stage 3 lockdowns for real estate, no different to what we faced in March and April. We cannot conduct open for inspections. Auctions are now to be moved online. I feel for this marketplace, yes, there was a lot of nervous buyers out there the first time of the lockdowns. But when we reopened up, we saw a massive increase from out of area buyers shift down to the Mornington Peninsula. To give you an example, one property in Mount Eliza, we had 90 groups through over a 4-week campaign. So the appetite for Mount Eliza and anywhere on the peninsula is very strong. Whilst we're in lockdowns, we can still do by appointment only. So we can still take buyers through on a one-on-one basis. What that means, what we do for our vendors, we highly qualify these buyers. Are they in a position to buy? We don't want to deal with any time wasters. So we pre-qualify these buyers before booking that private inspection. So let's look at the market. The good news is we are seeing abundance of out of area city-based buyers. Buyers from the Bayside region moved down into Mount Eliza on the peninsula, Frankston South. Since COVID hit, it makes sense. People don't want to live in high density areas. They're moving down for family and lifestyle reasons, and the working conditions are changing now. So a lot of buyers I'm dealing with have now got flexibility to be able to work from home for 2 to 3 days a week. So that increase in out of area activity is certainly going to fuel the Mornington Peninsula going forward, which is great news. Now, whilst we noticed this in the field, realestate.com just came out 2 to 3 weeks ago and said Mount Eliza is the #1 most searched suburb in Victoria. Again, that just reflects everything that we're seeing in the marketplace right now. It's a great sign. With many people expecting housing to fall, I'm going to give you a prime example. This is a real case scenario of COVID versus 2018 when the Banking Commission came at us. And that wasn't long ago. The marketplace in the back end of 2018 was really bad. On record, the Banking Commission calls the second fastest drop. Now, we had this property at 6 Kutong Parade in Mount Eliza. We did a 4-week campaign. We had 10 groups through. This was an older property, basically land value, but there was an opportunity for a buyer to potentially do some works on this home. $850 to $935 was the advertised price. So over 4 weeks, back in 2018, we only had 10 groups through. We had an offer at $800,000. Now, the owner decided to continue to lease the property out. He contacted me 6 to 7 weeks ago, asked me what my thoughts on the market were, and I actually said we're in a more buoyant environment, believe it or not, irrespective of COVID. So what we did, we launched the property. Obviously, we had all the marketing assets, so we launched the property. No changes to the marketing, no changes to the advertised price. As soon as we launched, we saw an influx of inquiries. First open, we had over 20 people through. I felt like a bit of a bouncer because we still had to adhere to social distancing, so allowing 5 groups at a time and letting them come out. But it was just a huge response. We sold that property, $900,000 unconditional. So A lot of people want to know the difference between the 218 breakdown in the marketplace with the fallout in the Banking Commission versus today in COVID. Well, COVID environment is certainly winning. So, like I said at the start of the video, we're seeing an abundance of activity from out of area buyers, and the marketplace right now is actually very strong. All right, now let's look at the bearish and bullish case scenario. Following from the last video, we talked about the bear case scenario as to why the housing will pull back. You know my thoughts, I think will hold up pretty well. But the bears out there right now, JobKeeper to end in September, well, that's looking like that's going to continue. Mortgage repayments to stop. Well, that's not a bear case scenario now. The banks have just literally came out this week to say they're going to extend any consumers out there struggling to repay their mortgage for a further 4 months. The things that the bears are winning on, we talked about, will the economy return back to normal and will that second wave hit? Well, I have to give you guys a tick for that. We are now in the face of that second wave lockdown restrictions, so the economy has pulled back and we have to be very mindful to see how that transpires following the 6-week lockdown period. All right, so let's look at the bullish case scenario from last video. We talked about, and the number one point was the government's intervening. A week after that video, the governments came out and have given $25,000 for those looking to renovate their property that exceeds $150,000, or those people looking to build a brand new home. So that's an area that they're certainly going to support in housing and construction. Interest rates, well, they're maintaining low. We can't see them going up anytime soon. I just mentioned about the banks and pushing that out for a further 4 months. JobKeeper will continue and push out further as well. So as you can see, I'm leaning more on the bullish scenario, simply, like I said, about the governments and their ability to intervene when it requires. They're not going to let this economy fail, and they're going to do everything to backstop this. Now, looking locally on the markets, I've mentioned about the activity. I see the Mornington Peninsula area as one of the go-to suburbs in Victoria moving forward. I think the recent issues of COVID has amplified the demand for our area. So if you are looking at selling, obviously we're in stage 3 lockdowns. Have a confidence that you're still going to deliver a result in a one-on-one private fashion. We've got properties coming up and about to launch to market, and we expect them to sell pretty quickly with the increase in demand. If you need any advice, thinking of buying or selling, just want to chat about the market in further detail, feel free to give me a call on 0433 480 870, or you can visit our website at impactrealtygroup.com.au. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Look forward to speaking to you soon.